It's season 50.
Because most people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And you can't teach caring.
Sir, can we come up with another name for the season?
Stick to the plan. Stand proud. Voices that care are crying out loud.
Welcome to Youth Flex Season of Caring with our host, Deidre Edwards.
We up, yeah. Free up, yeah. Balenciaga for me structure. Who them caboose get deduct, yeah. Hey.
Deidre Edwards.
Good afternoon, Cayman. It's that time again when we here at Youth Flex grace you with our Out of This World program. It's me, Deidre, your host.
And Jessie, your co-host.
And we're back with another season. It's the season of caring. For today's show, we'll be having Miss Marsha Clark and Miss Shamika Rankin, along with Erica Asai.
Our word of the week is benevolent. It is an adjective meaning kind. It is spelt Benevolent. Benevolent.
The quote of the day is, "Wherever you go becomes a part of you somehow," by Anita Desai.
You can join in on our conversation by calling 1-800-534-8255, toll-free courtesy of Flow, or join us on YouTube Live. So today in the studio, we have Miss Marsha Clark and Miss Shamika Rankin from the HSA. So can you please introduce yourself formally to the audience?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Cayman. My name is Shamika Rankin. I am a registered nurse at the Georgetown Hospital. I work on the medical ward.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us. My name is Marsha Clark, and I'm also a registered nurse, but I'm a registered nurse midwife. Shamika is a registered nurse. I'm a registered nurse midwife, and currently I hold the position of nurse manager for the medical inpatient unit at the Health Services Authority.
So for our listeners who may be interested in the career path that you guys are taking, could you elaborate on what courses you took to become a nurse?
Sure. So there are it's a 4-year course for one. There are a very large amount of courses that we did take. So there are a few prerequisites that can be done before actually doing the nursing courses. They include English, anatomy and physiology, sociology, biochemistry, and others, which also includes basic nutrition as well. In terms, usually those are done in the first year, and from second year on, we have the nursing courses. So they include health assessment, patient and care worker safety, obviously first aid and basic life support, community health nursing, pharmacology, mental health nursing, adult health nursing, childcare nursing, and in fourth year, it's research. So there's a whole host of different classes that we have to take.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It is very demanding.
So in your school of so far, what has been the most useful thing that you've learned in nursing?
Well, for me, over the years, because I went into nursing, I started my career January 23, 1995 was when I completed and started working as a nurse. Oh. And over the years, I've found that it's very unpredictable. You'll plan your day and you go with all good intentions and something happens. You're thrown a curveball and you have to deal with it. So you have to have that mindset that when you go, anything can happen. Also, one of the most important things is that caring for the patients, one size doesn't fit all. And so each person comes with their different individuality, and how I care for one patient doesn't necessarily mean that is how I'm to care for another. So those are probably two most important lessons I've learned.
Wow.
What was the hardest pitfall for you to overcome during your years of nursing school, if you had any?
I would actually say it would be the amount of schoolwork. That was the hardest part. Like I said earlier, it is a lot of schoolwork. It's very demanding, and we not only have to do classes and theory work, it's practical work as well. So when we go to school during the day, and this would usually start within, like, from second year to fourth year, like second, third year. So once we go to school, do the theory work, we have to then go out into the field, whether it's the clinics or the actual hospital, or just in the community in general. We'd have to do practical work. So it was very hard.
So what made you choose to become a nurse? This is for both of you. What made you choose to become a nurse?
You want me to answer or is he answering? Okay. Well, I'm going to be honest, I tell this story to many people on a daily basis. From the age of 5, from the tender age of 5, as far as I can remember, I've always wanted to do nursing. I've never had another career thought in mind, no other occupation, nothing like that. So from the time I knew myself, I always wanted to be a nurse. And I'm the youngest of 7, and I think I lost track of how many nieces and nephews, but I have almost 20.
Wow.
And I'm taking care of every single one of them, and it made me feel that, this is my passion. I love caring for people and whatnot, and that's what brought me to where I am today.
Well, for me, I must say, I don't think I had many choices, because at the time when I was trained, you either became a lawyer, doctor, a nurse, a teacher. I didn't want to be a doctor. I was not interested in teaching. I didn't want to take any work home. And I would say nursing chose me, in the sense that it's something I know I've always wanted to do. As I said, the options weren't many. But I was night duty deterred me, right, at first. And so I said, okay, I would go into pharmacy, right? That didn't work out for whatever reason. I'm not even sure. And then when I went to Northern Caribbean University at the time, I went with the intention to do medical technology. And that program wasn't up and running at the time. So there you go. I went into computer science because I said, I'm not going to do nursing because I can't take the night duties. And then didn't do well with the computer science. I was not the tech savvy person. And so what did I have to do? Nursing. Right? So that's why I say it chose me, really. And I've not regretted it one day.
That's amazing. How do you approach your everyday as medicine is constantly changing?
Especially now, the mindset. If you should see me driving to work in the mornings, I start to talk to myself when I get in the car, because especially now, everything is fluid. This pandemic is basically something new that came upon us, and so we have to be creative. And so the mindset is really important. Without that mindset and that positive thought process, you come to work and you'll fail, because you have to be able to embrace the challenges that come our way.
And to expand that a bit more, we also have to keep up with our education. So, like Nurse Marcia said, since the pandemic, and not only since the pandemic, but just nursing in general becoming broader, we have to keep up with our education. So we do a lot of continuing education courses. So they have the courses at the HSA. HSA offers a lot of courses. And now, since the pandemic, it's been a lot of telehealth. So a lot of courses are online now, whereas before it would be physical courses where we do it in class and whatnot. Also, research as well. Just keeping update with the research, the amount of increase in research now, and just staying culturally wise. So obviously, it's a diverse environment that we live in. It's a melting pot. You know, Cayman is a melting pot. So
Yeah.
and since the pandemic, we've been getting a lot of other different cultures and whatnot. So we have to make sure that we're keeping up with all of those things.
That's the best thing to do so that you're able to still do your job efficiently.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about your career?
Everything. Well, there's not really one specific thing that to be honest, it's my patients. I love my patients, you know, regardless of who they are, where they come from, you know,
The different
personalities that we have to deal with on a daily basis. It doesn't matter. It's just they make our day better, even though it's a very demanding job. It's very hard, but we realize we have to think that this is what we do. You know, this is our people's lives that we have in our hands. So that's what I think. That's what pushes me mostly to just, you know, do what I have to do.
It's never boring.
Never.
I like the fact that it is unpredictable, because there's always something new. There's always something. Regardless that I've been in nursing so long, every day there is something new to learn, and I like that. So that's one of the things that I really like about it.
That's good.
What has been the most heartbreaking moment while on the job?
There are so many.
So many.
Yeah.
For me, I would have to say, I've had a few patients actually die in my hands, my arms.
Wow.
So that has been the most heartbreaking for me, especially when they are able to still talk and, you know, they say their last words to you. So that's really heartbreaking.
For me, it's a patient that you didn't expect to die, and they're happy, looking forward to get out of hospital. They've come so far. May have had an adverse event that, you know, caused them to be in the hospital, but then you see them get well and ready to go, and then you come one day and you hear, oh, you know, this happened. I mean, that can be so heartbreaking for a nurse or any medical professional.
Wow, that's a lot. I don't think I'd be able to do it because, like, feeling that, like, people dying in your arms, and that's definitely not for me. But we'll be taking a short music break.
Our first song would be December by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
More ways to win big this Christmas. The more you watch, listen, and stream your favorite Digicel apps, the more chances you have to win from thousands of prizes. Enter to win the grand prizes of US $10,000 cash, US $5,000 cash, or a Digicel family pack with 4 smartphones and free service for a year. Simply listen to your favorite Christmas carols in D Music, watch movies in Play Go, live sports in SportsMax, or connect with friends in BIP and join BIP Rewards channel for daily prizes. Claim your guaranteed prize every Saturday. Shake to win in the My Digicel app today. Digicel, better together this Christmas.
A national sport, an international phenomenon, a way of life.
In any land in the world, and he would never strike a ball more pure.
Football binds a community and can build a nation.
Ozil clips it in. Well done!
Better, faster, stronger, and united.
This is the league we want to watch.
From the pitch to the stands, to the field and the sands, we are united. We are Cayman Football.
Summer is gone, and the hustle and bustle is back. But hey, don't fall back into the same bad routine. No. Life is getting back to normal, and you should get back to better health. Train with Dre is offering a limited time special for weight loss. The Go Getter Morning Class. 12 sessions per month for only $150. And the I'll Get To It Evening and Saturday class for only $175. As a bonus, sign up early. Take $50 off the lunch delivery weight loss program. Top quality food, portioned and freshly made just for you.
Hey guys, Dre here from Train with Dre's Better You Studio. Visit www.trainwd.com or give me a call on 928-3420 to start your weight loss journey today. Better you, better me, better us together.
This is Youth Flex, more than talk.
And welcome back to Youth Flex's radio show. And just to remind you, you can call in by calling 1-800-534-8255. Toll-free courtesy of Flow. So we are still in studio with the nurse Shamika and nurse Marsha. So how do you separate your feelings from your work?
First and foremost, we try not to take work home. So, like we said earlier, with patients who are really ill or have died on us on our shift, we obviously, that's, as caring professionals, that's going to linger on us for a little bit. We sometimes it's emotionally exhausting. We go home. That's what all we can think about. You know, we think like, what more could I have done, or did I make sure this patient went well? You know, went in a good mood, kind of thing, or happy. Stuff like that. So it's about controlling the mind and separating work from home.
Shamika can say that, but for me, it can be a challenge in the sense that in my role as a manager, I take home a lot, and even though I'm not physically there sometimes, it's hard. It's very difficult to separate the work from home, but I've learned to try and find, well, I don't have a choice really because I have a young son at home. So between school activities, home activities, I'm forced at times to try and create a balance, because sometimes he will say, "Mommy, you're always on the phone answering somebody," because the staff will be messaging me that they need, okay, I need this time off, or they may reach out and say, you know, this patient, this happened. And so all those emotions are there. But I've really learned recently to try and balance. And as I say, I'm forced in a sense that when I get home, I have other activities that take precedence at that time. So that helps in a way to help me to balance.
That's good.
Has there ever been a time where your feelings have actually come in the way of your work?
Feelings will always come up, right? But not that it affected the work in a sense, because over the years I have learned to control my emotions, and that is one thing that is key in surviving in the world of nursing or in healthcare. The patients sometimes are there watching your facial expression just to get a flicker of something from you, and so you have to be not that you're going to be emotionless, but you have to keep everything under control in order to care for them in the best way. And so that is an important lesson that any nurse would learn over time, that, you have to control them.
Mm-hmm. Has your career ever come to the point where you want to give up, but you have chosen to continue?
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. So why have you chosen to continue?
Well, as I said before, I've been in nursing so long, it's hard, right? That's all I know. That's all I know. And I must love it to stay so long. And yes, there are times when being in nursing so long, you say, wonder if I should try something else. I've wrapped my life around nursing all these years. Should I try something? But I'm not sure if it's a fear factor or the fact that I really love nursing and I'm always going back to work, right? So I guess that says something. So there you go. But I love what I do, and I just can't see myself doing anything else. So
I second what Nurse Marsha said.
That's really good to see that you have that love and passion for your job as well.
Because then it feels like you're not working, you're just doing what you love.
Yeah. So especially with the current pandemic, what do you consider the highest risk with your job?
Of course, with the pandemic, hoping that we wouldn't be infected with COVID-19, right? That's a real threat for us. And as much as we're nurses and we understand the protocols and procedures to follow to keep ourselves safe, things will happen from time to time. And not because we have the knowledge, it doesn't mean that the fear factor is not there. Because we have families at home, sometimes it's not even for ourselves, but we worry that we'll take home, COVID-19 to our families. Also, at the start of the pandemic, worldwide, we have lost so many healthcare professionals from COVID-19. We have been fortunate in the Cayman Islands that, as far as I know, that has not happened, right? And so that is also one of the risk factors that can happen. We never know. And we really hope and pray that that will not happen to any of us. And so those are some of the, the biggest risk factors so far with the pandemic.
Also, how has your job changed since the pandemic? Or in what ways?
It's changed a lot.
Okay. First of all, it's been a lot busier. We've been getting a lot more patients. But let me focus on the positive. We've been learning to manage our time better, a lot better, because like I said, it's been a lot busier, so we've been dealing with a lot more patients. So what we've been used to, I mean, not saying it wasn't busy from before, but what we've been used to, it's a lot more than what it was. And so we've been learning time management well. We've been learning different ways to practice outside of the bedside, meaning like, obviously with these COVID patients, we don't want to be in the rooms, or not that we don't want to, but it's not the safest for us to be in the rooms or by their bedside constantly. So we're learning how to communicate with them from outside the rooms, making sure that everything is going well from outside, managing their care a a bit more from outside than just directly at the bedside. So it's been changing a bit, but we're trying our best to manage
and adopt.
Yeah.
For me, from a management perspective, it's it has really challenged the status quo of leadership, and I've found that even being more creative, because we have to keep everybody safe. And so, as Shamika said, healthcare has expanded leaps and bounds. We are now doing telehealth that we've never dreamed would happen, especially in the Cayman Islands. And also, the technology has really
improved.
Significantly, because we have to be creative in taking care of our patients and still provide the quality of care and the safest care for everybody involved. So so it has its good, it has its bad. I think things that were in the future, because I read an article the other day where Amazon is trying to integrate Alexa into the healthcare system and tell Alexa to turn the IV, put the rate. So things that would have been in the future are now
in the present.
Yes. So we find that it has its good, it has its bad. We really want it to go away. We don't want to embrace it because it comes with some good. And there are things that are now put in place because of COVID-19 that we see it is working well, and we know it won't change because, so.
Do you have any advice for current or potential nursing students?
Yes. So what I made sure to keep at the top of my head when I was in nursing school was that always remember try to figure out where my passion was. So even though I was working to become a general registered nurse, I still made sure to pay keen attention in all of my subjects to say, okay, is this what I want to do, or is no, I don't want to really do that, I'll do this or whatnot. So just identify where your passion is while going to nursing school. Gain experience, do internships, volunteer, especially now the HSA is accepting volunteers, and just try to get your experience level up and just have fun with it as well. Learn.
Yes, I would say come with a mindset that it's not going to be all roses. It won't be easy. And most importantly, just to reiterate what Shamika said, you have to have a love for people to begin with.
So true.
Because it's going to be challenging. And as I said, each person is different. And how you interact with one, it's not the same. And some days it's going to be difficult to get through to someone, and you're going to be frustrated, and you come in not knowing that all these things would happen. And so, just ensure that your people skills and that are up to par, and that you love nursing.
Thank you. So we are in our season of caring. What or who do you care about?
For me, definitely family, friends. I have some very good friends who keep me going, and my work colleagues, as a manager, my staff, and the Health Services Authority family in general, and of course, we couldn't forget our patients.
Yeah.
The same for you?
The same for me.
Okay.
Specifically, my husband, both of my families, because I can't forget my biological family and my husband's family either. My co-workers, my boss, Nurse Marsha, and of course our patients.
Do you have any final comments or shout-outs?
I just want to say thumbs up to the entire HSA staff, from the groundsman all the way up to the top. I really lift my hat to persons in the top management now, because the decisions that they make, I know it cannot be easy, and to the public health staff, for everybody, because COVID-19 is affecting all of us. And I just want to say, and also I just have to end, because my medical unit staff, I'm going to be biased here. I have to say a big shout out, right, Shamika?
Yes.
To all the girls, especially those on duty now, who said, go do us proud.
Yeah.
And so hope we did. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, and we appreciate
And
everything
thank
that
you
you
for
guys
having
do.
us. Yes.
So we will now have another music break.
Our next song would be Take Care by Drake featuring Rihanna.
Are you seeking a job in the hospitality industry? Discover over 200 opportunities such as food and beverage, culinary, and pool and beach attendant at the Tourism Job Fair on Thursday, 9th of December from 1 until 4 p.m. at the Governor's Ballroom at the Westin Grand Cayman, 7 Mile Beach Resort. Attend the job fair with a copy of your current resume in hand to speak directly with employers at some of the largest and most popular hotels and restaurants. Registration ahead of time is required. Register at jobfair.ourcayman.ky. Take the next steps to finding your next job.
Make your Thanksgiving or Christmas party easy peasy lemon squeezy with Box. Holiday in a box. A pre-cooked festive feast with everything you would expect. Serving up to 10 people for only $1.75. All good presents come in a box. Box. From our kitchen to yours. Make it a holiday in a box. Email sales@box.ky to place your order today.
2020 vision. If only we had that in 2020. Life can come at us fast. 2020 vision only comes after. This 2021, don't be caught off guard. Stay insured, stay protected. I'm Michael Webster from Cayman Insurance Center. If you're looking for a sure way to protect your family, call me at 925-5433. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
Kirk Freeport's $40,000 Christmas sweepstakes is back. Once again, simply spend $100 at your favorite Kirk Freeport store, and you could win one of 3 $5,000 cash prizes, one of 5 $1,000 cash prizes, and many other great prizes throughout December. All purchases of $100 before noon on Christmas Eve qualify for all remaining prize draws. And don't forget the annual Kirk Freeport Rolex watch prize draw for all entries, held on January 4th. Full details on KirkFreeport.com. Merry Christmas from everyone at Kirk Freeport.
Cash is a must this Christmas.
J&M Money Cash Must Christmas.
Send or receive funds with the J&M Money this holiday season to win big.
J&M Money Cash Must Christmas.
Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
This is YouthFlex, more than talk.
Welcome back. So right now in the studio with us we have Miss Erica Asai, or also known as Coasty Asai, or Sai the Sailor. You know, she has so much names now. Who is one of our dear friends, and she brings all the vibes to the show.
Yeah,
I have to thank her for that.
Yes.
So what will you be talking about today?
So today I will be talking about our event that we hosted for the Seafarers. So the Cayman Islands Coast Guard hosted the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association at our base for a Cayman Thanksgiving shindig. It was amazing.
Wow.
We had about maybe 85 seafarers in total.
Oh, wow.
Along with a few members of Parliament and from the ministry, and the governor was even there. I was pretty shook about that, honestly. But it was a really amazing afternoon. We danced. I don't know if y'all saw
Yes,
the
I was
videos.
just about to say, I saw some of the videos.
Yeah, we danced. We ate a lot of food. Big up Juanita's Kitchen at Virtual Bay on Instagram. The food was chef's kiss. Like, it was amazing. And then we also had like live music. So we had Mr. Jimmy LaPierre playing on the pan. Like, it was just a very Caymanian Thanksgiving Christmas party. Like, I really enjoyed it.
That's great. Could you give a rundown of the whole event, like everything that happened?
So the event was just basically a little hangout. It wasn't nothing formal. It was just us mingling. There's a lot of... So my coasties, we mingled with the older the older sailors, and they told us their stories, their adventures, and we also shared our adventures because we've had a few adventures thus far. So it was just finding common ground and just talking about those things. Along with that, of course, the dancing, the storytelling. It was more so about family more than anything. Just showing that even though we may not be blood related, we are related through our line of work.
Yeah. What difference have you seen between the stories that you guys have and the stories that they shared with you?
Well,
if there is any. Or
to be honest, I was working the floor, so I never really heard any of the stories. But what I can tell you, during the meetings, when I was arranging everything, their stories are a lot more interesting because that was a different time. Like, it was a completely different time. Like, certain things would fly in their time, but it won't fly in our time. So women nowadays, we more so are like working. You never see a woman on the water like how you see us, 6 of us today on the water doing our jobs. So it's a bit of a culture shock when you see women on the water, and the men are like, they're sort of like impressed, but they sort of like, really? Like, they're sort of like a bit caught in their ways about it. So that's hopefully changing with the success of the event, showing that women could actually steer the ship and get it in the right way. But yeah, that's the main difference. The work that women do on ships, the work that women do in planning and making sure everything goes well. So yeah.
And why did you guys decide to have this event?
Well, for me, y'all know me. Y'all know I love entertaining people. And as of late, since I joined the Coast Guard, I haven't really been able to be Asai. So I brought Asai to work, and
smart move,
right?
But you turned it down a little.
I dialed it down a little bit to make her lovable.
Yes.
And I actually spoke to my PO. My PO and I were brainstorming as to what we wanted to do, and we came up to this idea of, because we wanted to give back to the community, because he's coming from the Coast Guard in Jamaica. So he said, oh, well, in Jamaica they do this, they do that. I'm like, okay, well, we have a Seafarers Association. So I said, okay, let me meet with the Seafarers. I lined that up. I met with them. They were excited. Everything went well. Met with them, did a presentation, invited all the Seafarers to come. It wasn't easy because there's over 200
seafarers.
Wow.
We had 85. So we had to cut the numbers due to COVID regulations.
reasons,
And even that was a stressor because when we first started, COVID never got so out of hand as it is now. So we had to really take into consideration everything that was happening around us. How are we going to manage this amount of people on our base at one time? So it actually came from that one day that my PO, petty officer, was just sitting and thinking like, okay, what can we do? What can we do? We thought about doing a cleanup at someone's home, but we were thinking, okay, let's do it in Savannah area. Savannah people bougie, so the house will never get ugly. Because that's our constituency, Newland, Savannah, that's our area, right? So we really wanted to keep it in that area. And we said, okay, let's have a Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's coming up, let's do a Thanksgiving. So 2 months ago, I did all of the planning, me and my team, and we somehow got everything together, and it happened, and I'm so happy that it did because it really put smiles on people's faces. And that's really what I'm in business for. I'm in the business of helping people, not just singing and dancing, not just going on boats and patrolling. I'm in the business of helping people and making people happy. I love that.
Yeah. Were there any sponsors for this event?
Yes, there was. The Cayman Islands government did their thing, and I'm really thankful to them, especially the Ministry of Home Affairs, and big up Mr. Bernie Bush wherever you are. If you are listening, he is our guy. I love him so much. He's just amazing. Y'all know that. And the fire service, they did so much for us. But yeah, Mr. Jimmy, like there's so many sponsors. I can't name all of them at the moment, but thankful to all who contributed to that event. I'm looking forward to next year, of course.
What was your favorite part of the event?
The dancing. I love dancing with that old man. I never knew I was being videoed, you know. I actually never knew I was being videoed. That was the first time. As I said, I was working the floor, so I never ate any of the food until after everyone left. So I had all the leftovers and whatever was left, and it was like, okay, I finally got the opportunity to do something. So this he was dancing on his own. I'm like, I'm not gonna allow this man to dance on his own. So of course I got there with my bad self and do my thing, and my boss videoed me, and I was shook when he sent it to me, and I was like, can I post this? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then the love I received on it, I was like, what is happening right now? Like over 2,000 people viewed it in a matter of 24 hours. So I was like, what is happening? So that was definitely the most heartwarming, most vulnerable aspect of the evening for me. Yeah.
And they need it too, to make them feel loved. Like someone wants to dance with them, they're going to feel happy.
Also, especially, I feel for the seafarers, you know. They started this a long time ago. Yeah. And to see how it circled back. Full circle. Like,
True.
It must be so amazing.
So why do you think it is important for us to give back to our community?
That's a big question. But thank you for the question. It is important for us to give back to our community and those that came before us because history repeats itself.
So true.
Those persons who laid the foundation, they taught us everything that we need to know, and we have to give back to build on that foundation. So you can't just take your talents, whatever you have acquired, and just go one way with them. You have to reinvest and keep on reinvesting, because at the end of the day, the culture will die if you don't go back and see like, okay, I learned this, I feel that I've perfected it. Let me go back to where I started and see what my ancestors think. They'll add more sauce to it to make it better, and it'll keep on getting better as you keep going back. So yeah.
Also, we have to give thanks to our culture and community because it's really them who makes us who we are now.
Trust me.
Sure.
Trust me. Our
It
culture
gives us the opportunity to become who we are and to learn so many different things.
Yep.
Especially in the entertainment industry in Cayman. I've learned that a lot.
Yeah.
Are there any ways that the listeners can give back to the Coast Guard unit?
Well, to be honest, the Coast Guard and any uniform service don't necessarily take gifts, but you could follow us on Instagram at CI_Coast Guard. That would help. But not sadly, but because of what we do not accept gifts. Just follow us on Instagram to stay informed with all the events that are taking place. Share our post.
We do post marine advisories and stuff like that, and just don't get in trouble. If you want to help me, just stay out of trouble, please.
So we're gonna take a quick music break.
Our third song will be Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande.
Local just got tastier. Save the date, Saturday, December 11th. Pure Art Gallery and Gifts. Treats for shoppers. Indulge in your island favorite Tortuga cakes and treats for the kids. Gorgeous local jewelry, household items, paintings, prints, ornaments. Perfect for that secret Santa gift. And to all of the island Santas shopping for Mrs. Claus, couldn't be any easier. The charming Cayman Cottage, Pure Art Gallery and Gifts on South Church Street is open 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday for your holiday shopping in Grand Cayman.
2021 has been a rocky road. In Cayman, we have grown up taking the good with the bad and remaining grateful throughout the way. The family at Superior Auto know that the life and the dependability of automobile relies completely on the maintenance it receives. And the truth is, so do you. Your self-love and self-care is much needed maintenance right now. This Christmas season, steer into self-love and keep that grateful Cayman spirit shining bright. From the family at Superior Auto, wishing the entire Cayman Islands community a blessed Christmas season and thoroughly prosperous 2022.
JN Money Cash Money Christmas.
Send or receive funds with the JN Money this holiday season to win big.
JN Money Cash Money Christmas.
Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
A national sport, an international phenomenon, a way of life.
In any land in the world, and he would never strike a ball more pure.
Football binds a community and can build a nation.
Ozil clips it in. Well done!
Better, faster, stronger, and united.
This is the league we want to watch.
From the pitch to the stands, to the field and the sands, we are united. We are Cayman Football.
This is Youth Flex, more than talk.
And we are back, still in the studio with Miss Erica Asai. So, what do you think is your purpose as an individual that is a part of the Coast Guard?
That's a great question.
Oh my God, I want to cry. I think you're gonna put this on live.
We specifically crafted that question for you.
I feel like I'm Miss Cayman right now. But my purpose within the Coast Guard.
As an individual.
As an individual.
Mm-hmm. As Erica.
I think that my purpose as Coast Guard Officer Rocket is...
Sight a sailor.
Sight a sailor, yeah. Whatever you want to call me.
Coastie
Say. Whatever you want to call me is... I feel... I mean, I had a... Taking into consideration everything that's happened from inception, I feel like I'm the cornerstone, if that makes sense, of the Coast Guard. Not putting much importance on myself, but I was used as an example for a lot of things. I got in trouble a lot. Believe it or not, I got in trouble a lot. But the way I bounced back from it, I feel that I am the example, as if that makes sense. I feel that in my position, I feel that not just for my peers, but for other girls like me, I feel that I'm showing them, okay, you could be who you are, but you don't have to change who you are for a job.
Yeah.
I really like the this question caught me off guard, I'm not gonna lie, because it's such a deep question and I have to like try not to get emotional about it. But my job gives me purpose. It really allows me to help people. It really allows me to find my way in exactly what I want to do. I realized through this job that not only do I want to entertain people, but I want to help people, not through just entertainment, but through instruction and teaching people. My end goal is to be a petty officer, because I remember how much my petty officers changed my life, even though they were, oh Jesus, the PTSD. But they really changed my life, and I look to them as like my father figures within the Coast Guard, and I really want to be my recruit's mother figure in the Coast Guard, because there are a lot of people that come to work, don't have a mother, don't have a father figure, don't have family. I feel that I introduced that that sense of family to the Coast Guard, not only through my bubbly demeanor, but through just everything that I do. Even if you cuss me one day, I'll still be smiling in your face the next day. And I feel that with that as an example, it really shows resilience and everything that is required to be a coastie, everything that is required to be a officer in the Cayman Islands. Because the thing is, like, Cayman is a very family-oriented place, and we're very closely knit. I could leave here and see you down the street. In other countries, that's not how it is.
Sure.
So I feel that me being this way, it also shows persons like, okay, you have to be careful how you speak to people. You have to be careful how you do this. You just have to really monitor and have a self-awareness about yourself. But me, my purpose in the Coast Guard is to help people. My purpose in the Coast Guard is to bring a smile to people's faces. Like, one of my coworkers said that when they think of me, they think of the color yellow, because I'm not bright, but I'm very
yellow.
Yeah.
From inside out.
Yeah.
I think that's what they meant. Like, you're their joy.
Yeah.
You're my yellow.
That's one of the things. That's what they said. And they also call me SpongeBob, because I'm always ready to do whatever needs to be done. So I just think I bring... yeah, right? I just bring the joy to my job, and I'm happy that my coasties feel it and those around me feel it. That question was loaded. I'm sorry. But yeah, my job gave me so much purpose. I never knew what I was doing before I enlisted, and I'm happy that I did.
I love it.
What is a goal that you wish to accomplish outside the sailor?
Girl, I just told you.
I was just like, she answered it.
I want to be Petty Officer Rocket.
Could you elaborate on that more? The petty officer.
Okay, so a petty officer is the chief of all pettiness. I'm joking. That'd be my job. But no, a petty officer is the training officer. So they're the persons that take the recruits, have them under their wing, show them the ropes as to what to do, how to do it, and they also be the persons to launch them. Launching is basically like when you screw up, you're gonna get burnt. You're gonna get hurt. Because in the military, this is paramilitary, but in the military, you just don't get a slap on the wrist. Like, you finna remember what you did.
Physically hurt?
No, exercise.
No.
Oh. They ain't gonna hurt you, but it's gonna be like exercise. I remember when we were like mess up in drill. Drill is basically like the marching stuff. They'd run us to the gate and back as a group, and it taught us like you have to like work as a team, because if you left anybody behind, honey, you have to do that again. And they wouldn't tell you until the end. And they'll tell you, like, they never really explained, but they wanted us to figure it out for ourselves. So I really like that aspect of my training, and I really like the family aspect, because as a petty officer, you're there and you have to be harsh and you have to be militant, but then there are times where you have to be soft and understanding, because at the end of the day, you are the person that are making sure that everybody's straight, because it's mentally taxing as well. But yeah, I want to be a petty officer. A petty officer, that's my goal. Like, I will not have any kids until I attain that role of petty officer. And that's on period.
So we're in our season of caring. Who or what do you care about?
I care about my nan. She's 91 years old. Dear God, don't cry, Erica.
We have some tissue.
Girl, I'm gonna need it. I care about my Nana. She's 91 years old. This year has been quite the year for my old girl. She suffers from Alzheimer's. She's been around, as you know, for a long time, but she played a really huge role in my life. I remember when I was in primary school at Savannah Primary. You could even ask your mom, Jessie. Mm-hmm. She would come to school and she'll assist like with tutoring people and helping people. Like I took my nan to school. Like that was how close me and her are, still are. But yeah, I care about her the most. Second person I care about, my sister. My sister is my everything, even though she gets on my nerves. But she's my everything because she's watching me. Like she's seeing everything that her sister does, and she sees everything that Asai does. She sees everything that Kosti does, and it's just like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to have your sister be Erica Asai. But I really want her to understand that it's not just fun and games. Like this adulting thing is not easy. This Asai thing is not easy. Like you're allowed to have bad days. You're allowed to cry a little bit. You're allowed, like I really want her to see that you don't have to be perfect to be successful, right? And people tend to think that I'm always like happy and I don't have bad days. Just speaking on my sister, she thinks that I'm perfect, but I really want whoever is listening, any young person, to know that it's okay to not be okay. Like you don't have to have it all together at one point. I don't have it all together, trust me. And sometimes you just have to figure out where to place that lack of energy. You have to make sure that you have a hobby. You have to make sure that you have friends. And if you don't have friends, you have to make sure you have God. Because without God,
True thing.
Trust me,
nothing is possible.
Nothing, absolutely nothing is possible. So yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
We love having you on here.
So thank you for joining us on Youth Flex. I'm your host, Deidre, along with my co-host, Jessie. Shout out to our guests, Miss Marsha Clark, Miss Shamika Rankin, and Erica Asai.
Shout out to Radio Cayman for their work on sound and boards, Mr. Will Sinatra, DJ Lynn, and DJ Silver Fox. Shout out to Conrad for the live YouTube feed. Also, special shout out to our Youth Flex crew, Jared Miles, Youth Flex Socials and Community Service, our musical director, Soraya Ramji, also working on our News Flex desk, Michaela McLaughlin, our promo director, and the 100+ Flex family all over the globe.
Thanks to SIFA, Cayman Insurance, UE Open Campus, Train with Dre, and Superior Auto for sponsoring the Super Jam, and to you, our listeners, for tuning in every Wednesday from 4 to 5 for Youth Flex on 89.9 FM. Join us again next Wednesday for Youth Flex's Season of Caring. Until next week, this is your host, Deidre Edwards, reminding you that Jesus loves you.
Tell me what I need.